Friends, I hope you all are doing well. So in this video we will discuss about types of tables in Snowflake. So Snowflake basically provides three types of table. Okay, and the name of those tables are types of table are permanent table, okay, and transient table, and another one is temporary table. Okay. Now, so if I talk about difference between all these three tables, so first of all, whenever you are creating any table without providing any specific name, okay, like whether it's temporary or transient, so by default, your table would be your permanent table. So this is the syntax to create table, create or replace table permanent. I'm creating one sample table, okay. So if you see by default, the table which is created, the type of this table would be permanent table. Now, so if you have to create temporary table, so while creating the table, you have to provide one keyword called temporary. So if you are once you run this table query, it will create your temporary table. And similarly, for transient table, you have to provide a keyword called transient. Okay. Now, so what is the difference between all these three tables? So so first of all, we will discuss about its time travel feature. Okay. So if you see here, like I have created this table in my db underscore db01 and schema sch01. Okay, name of these tables are present here. Okay, if you see kind, so for permanent table it is not showing any special type kind, but it's written only table, so it's permanent. And for temporary and transient it is showing in this way. Okay, so by default, if you see, retention time is given. So whenever you are creating any table, whether it's temporary, permanent, or transient, retention time by default will be 1. Okay. Now, if I talk about how much retention time you can, one more thing. So along with this, they created data retention time. So if I talk about fail safe, so Snowflake also provides one important concept called fail safe. So for permanent table, fail safe period is 7 days. Okay, and for temporary and transient table, there is no fail safe period. First thing. Second thing, now if I talk about data retention time, so enterprise and above edition provides for permanent tables, uh, data retention time can be maximum up to 90 days, but for permanent and temporary table, data retention time cannot be more than 1 day. Okay, let us see. Suppose if I'm trying to change data retention time of this table, okay, permanent table, so I can change this up to 90 days. Okay, but if I try to change data retention time of this transient table, okay, so what it will do, it will not allow me to change its data retention time, okay, more than 1 day. If I try to change it to 2 days, for 2 day also it will not allow. Okay, for 1 day it will allow because it is already 1 day. Okay, and if you want to reduce it to zero, we can also do. Okay, and same is the case of for our temporary table also. Okay, now next question comes in mind. Okay, fail safe period, sorry, data retention time for temporary and transient table is maximum 1 day. Now what is the difference between temporary and transient table then? So temporary table is present for only particular session only. Okay, now if you see here, this is my table I have created in this session only. Okay, permanent temp table, but if I want to check query this table in another session. Okay, so let me first query this. If you see, in this session I am able to query. Okay, but if I want to query the same query in another session, so permanent temp table, see, in another session, we cannot query. So if I try to conclude whatever we discussed so far, so Snowflake provides three types of tables, that is permanent, transient and temporary. Now For permanent tables, data retention time can be up to 90 days plus 7 days of fail-safe period. But for temporary and transient table, data retention time is maximum of 1 day, and there is no fail-safe period for transient and temporary table. Now, temporary table exists, a temporary table and its data exist for only that session only. Okay. So I hope I tried to explain you all these things. Thank you. That's all for this session.